This is called Cromwell's Revenge, a true story, simply because when I wrote the poem I was reading a book called Cromwell's Revenge, a true story. But the real title is, Alas, I was mistaken when I thought Cathy had shaken her tic-tacs at me. I was in love with Cathy, but Cathy wasn't in love with me. Cathy was in love with my best mate Kate, who was madly in love with Michael, who thought I was grave. Now Michael I both detest and hate. Oh, what a tangled web we wove. If music was the food of love, then we had excess of it. We were each of us dying of hunger in the midst of a feast. Shakespeare sure said it when he said it. The course of love never did run smooth. Thank you. And the person at the end of that camera is called Jan, and of course I want to be the best man I can for Jan, but when you see what I've got to work with, like, whoa, she's on to lose it. Nevertheless, this is called Superman. I wanted to be your superhero, but all the best ones were already taken. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, oh how they roll off the tongue. Doctor Strange, Daredevil, or Green Lantern even. So I had to become my own one. Now I hear you cry, kissless and cuddless. But have no fear, for I am here, created by your own longing. A superhero to suit you. Yes, it's Mr. Kiss Kiss and Cuddles Man to the rescue!
My hero!
Still keeping on the Jan theme, this is called To Love, but in Japanese it's called Fukaku Aisuri, which not only means to love, but to love tenderly, deeply. Take one bed, place before an open window, letting it shimmer in summer, gently cover in crisp, cool linen, fluff 2 white plump pillows, now add a little lilac and a light top sheet, simmer from high noon to full moon, stir in longing, add just a pinch of lust. Not too much, Mel. Jesus, that's enough. Okay. Now, only now, add in the lovers. Let them stew in their own juices. Now turn up the heat and serve hot. A dish fit for the gods. Okay. When I was a little boy, I was dyslexic, and the only way I could get to poetry was my sister and my dad telling me. And one poem that I always remember my sister sending me to sleep with was one called Jenny Kiss Me by Leigh Hunt. Leigh Hunt started a new paper, and he had a section in it for new poets. And the new poets who happened to be on the block at the time were Keats and Shelley. But he also was responsible for Jenny Kiss Me. I can never remember, I liked the poem so much, but for years it never existed except in my sister's voice, whispered softly against my cheek as I fell asleep. So it goes something like this. Jenny kissed me. Jenny kissed me when we met, jumping from the chair she sat in. Tying you teeth who love to put love into your lists, put that in. Say I'm weary, say I'm sad, say that wealth and health have missed me. Say I'm growing old, but add, Jenny kissed me. That's me. That's me, give them the big clap. And this is a poem called Telling Him Jenny. I used to look after an old guy down in Pimlico who's homeless, alcoholic, drug abuser, and he was the same age as my dad. And when I came in, he used to always say, "Johnny wants you," because Johnny would let nobody else bathe him except me. Johnny would be covered in shit, lots of shit, and he was going, "He's calling for you again," and it was somebody else's turn. So I used to bathe him, and I used to clean off all the shit off him, and I used to tell him Irish songs and all the things that my dad would know and everything like that. And his favourite poem was Jenny Kiss Me. And I used to always say that to him as I bathed him. He was literally, I'd come in and he'd be covered with shit. And I'd say, it wasn't PC, but I said, "Johnny, I thought you were full of shit, but now you ain't." I used to bathe him. So this is called Tell Him Jenny. And he used to always call me Sonny. Tell me the poem, Sonny. He always called me Sonny. Tell me, Jenny. I recite. I love your voice, Sonny, as I bade him. Jenny, kiss me. He always asks again and again, "Who's it by, Sonny?" And I tell him again and again, "It's Leigh Hunt, Johnny." He never remembers. He closes his eyes and recites along with me, saying the words silently, his lips trembling with their beauty. He always cries when I come to the end and begs again for me to tell him, "Jenny." "Who's it by, Sonny?" "It's Leigh Hunt, Johnny." I ask him if there was a Jenny, and he says no, her name was Molly, but it's near enough. My hands attend him as he dies. I whisper in his ear, not the priest's act of contrition, but the words he loved to hear. I still hear his voice speaking in silence, mouthing each invisible word. Say I'm growing old, but I'd Jenny kiss me. His third birthday as herself, and we had a mess of kids around, and they were going absolutely fucking bonkers. And you got used to the madness after a while, and suddenly there was complete utter silence. And then I got very worried. And then they all came back into the room and they said this. It's a haiku called Old Dog's New Trick. The dog is in the loo! We must teach him to pee! And he just fell in. Thank you.